In the previous videos, we focused on using Twitter for your personal learning network. In this video, we'll take a look at Google Plus to see different ways you can use it for your PLN and for interacting with colleagues. So here I am in my Google Mail account, and I want to show you that you can get to Google Plus from just about every Google app that there is. And if you go up to the upper right-hand corner to the 9 dots, you'll see that there is an option for Google Plus. So I'm going to select that and point out to you that it's simply plus.google.com if you wanted to key it in. Essentially, Google Plus is a social media tool like Twitter and Pinterest where you can share information and interact with others. Since it's Google's tool, it's viewable from any of the Google Apps services. So here, when I first enter, I can post my thoughts, photos, a link, a video, post an event, or even a poll. So it's very similar to other tools where you can post similar multimedia or links. Here's where I can see posts from other people that I follow. This isn't like Facebook, where both people have to become friends in order to see each other's posts. You can follow someone else without having them follow you. It's kind of like Twitter in that way. What's really neat about Google Plus is that you can schedule events to invite people to participate in something. Since it's integrated with Google, it is integrated with the Google Hangout app. So the event can have an online meeting room associated with it called a Hangout. Along the top are the categories of people that I have in the circles. I can click on any of these to see people that I have categorized here, and I have some friends, some acquaintances, and these are people that are actively posting. And then I have created other categories that are maybe more meaningful to me, like different schools, or people that I'm just following, or IT, and the list goes on and on. Like Twitter, you can have mentions. So when someone mentions you in a post, this is where you would go to check that out. I could also explore trends by clicking on the Explore, and just like Twitter with hashtags, Google Plus uses hashtags as well. So you could hashtag or put one on your post, put a hashtag on your post, and so that others may find it if it's a public post. Along the left-hand side, I can see different sections of Google+. Profile is where I have information about myself, who's in my circles, who has me in my circles, and all my posts. People is where I can see the people I'm connected to, as well as suggestions, and I can just click on Add to add them to my circles. More on that later. Photos is a place where I can store my private photos. So anything that I've posted on, say, a Google Plus post appears here. I can also just upload photos here and create albums. Now, the interesting thing about photos is that it doesn't seem to have a nice way back to get to home. So I'm going to click on, okay, got it. I'm going to go back to the 9 dots and go to Google Plus because it will take me back home. I think they're probably integrating that, and it will change in a few months. Collections are kind of like boards on Pinterest. If you're familiar with that, you create a board of related content. So I have 2 boards, or actually 2 collections, one of connected educator resources as well as one for gamification of professional development. So it's kind of like a little place where I can keep links or documents or anything. Let me see what the gamification looks like. So I can share different posts and not only create them from scratch, but share them from other places on Google Plus into my collection. And I can share it out just like I would with anything else on Google Plus. Communities is a great part of Google Plus where you can connect to other people who have interests. So I have some that I've created and I moderate, including the BASD Connected Educator community. And if you haven't joined that, I encourage you to. That is a private community, so you will need to be approved to be in that. If so, BASD educators will be approved. Here are a host of communities I've joined, including Google Classroom with 30,000 members, the Google Sites, There's one on Google Sites with close to 3,000 people. And on each community, I see a little number, and those are the number of posts I've missed while I was away. So some of these are really, really active, and some of these are really specific, like on a particular program like Doctopus. So I encourage you to take a look at that. You can also create your own community. Events are upcoming events or past events that you have attended. And again, this can have the Google Plus Hangout feature where you can attend online. Pages is when you would create a public page for yourself. And settings is what it's called, and that is what it's describing is basically how you want your Google Plus to behave. So one more feature I do want to point out is this Google notification, this little bell. It's a bell right now because I don't have any available. But when new things happen, such as someone adds you to their circle, shares something with you, +1 a post that you made, in other words, like a post, kind of like in Facebook, or share something in the community that you're in, you'll get a notification here. And you can also have those notifications go to your Google Mail if you choose. So that's pretty cool. So that's Google Plus, and in the next couple of videos, we'll talk about getting your profile set up and interacting with others. And that's it.